You guys see this video yet?
Piano, synth, guitar.
Imagine all the people.
Bollocks. The sampler is the most important instrument.
Bro, how did you guys even find this? Buddy's got 248 subscribers, 1,700 views, and you're bringing me this. I mean, it's fantastic. I love the editing on this video. This is so tough. So he goes in. A couple of people wanted to talk about this video. He goes in and he talks about the history of samplers. Really does a good homage to how important sampling is and how influential it is with our modern day music creation process. And he winds up running into the TrackLib article about the guys in that Discord that got jumped by the hip hop community a few weeks ago. Remember, there's that story about the AI who found the one shot that Daft Punk sampled to make Around the World or some shit like that, and it was it kind of freaked producer world out because they were like, oh my god, you can identify one shot. It's crazy. What's gonna happen? I'm never gonna be able to make music anymore. The police are going to arrest me. And so he went and touched on that, talked about how the whole thing is kind of nerdy, made a fantastic joke about, like, digging up this sample is the equivalent of going to a rave with a protractor. And I just thought that was fantastic because I agree 100%. Like this whole, like, the whole pursuit that those guys are on, like, let me make an AI that can figure out what the samples are. Like, let me just be clear, that shit is whack. That shit is whack. WHAK. We're spelling it in the Queen's English, dude. Tridash, bro. The whole idea in your mind that, like, yo, I am entitled to know where this person sampled it from, so I'm gonna build a fucking AI project to kick over all these stones. Like, it just goes to show how out of touch people are with the culture of music creation. Because people who really made, hip hop, or people who really made electronic music, or people who really made dance music, you know what I mean? They all they all seen that and they were like, nah, bro, this ain't it. This is wild corny. But, like, these people who've only made music on FL Studio or Reason and never actually, like, went outside and interacted with other music makers, never went to different events, you know what I mean? Never paid for studio time or, did anything within the culture of actually being a fucking musician. You know what I'm saying? These computer programmers masquerading as musicians. They don't understand. They won't get why this is so flagrant. And I'm not going to try to explain it to them because they don't get it, but you do. He goes on to talk about, the one thing that people get scared of, because here's why producers want to talk about it. They're like, oh, we sample and we use one shots. What does this mean for us? Like, for example, if we make a hit record, are we going to get sent to the gulag? So his whole point is like, yo, don't worry about it. And this is the same thing that people have been saying since the 90s, bro. Like, if you sample something and then, it becomes a huge hit, right? Like, say, like, John Black is asking, did you know that Puffy pays Sting's $5,000 every day for the I'm Missing You sample he used without provision? DJ fucking talked about it, saying staying away from samples with people from greed. Well, what is this $5,000 a day? Like where are you guys getting this information from? He pays Puffy pays. You think Puffy personally pays Sting $5,000 a day for that song to continue to be on streaming, or does the song stream so much that the sample agreement that they cut back when they made the song pays Sting's publishing company roughly $5,000 a day because the song was such a big hit? Like, what are we talking about? Because it's like what are we talking about? Because these topics get discussed on Twitter and there's not enough space to actually explain stuff. And since you guys do not read articles anyway, it seems like we just go with these little fucking bites and it doesn't really check out. So like, what are we talking about? Are we talking about the fact that there's this immensely popular tribute song that samples Sting, and because Sting said, you know what, bro, like I want 100% of the song, and Puffy was like, okay, you could have 100% of the song. Is that what we're talking about? Because if Sting has 100% of the song, then Puffy's not paying him anything. Sting is making $5,000 off of licensing his original content. That is what's happening. Dude, I'm a fucking weirdo, bro. Like I don't process this information like everybody else does. Like I see the way that these conversations are filtered and bastardized by clickbait. You know what I mean? And I gotta tell you guys, like, it sucks. You know what I mean? It's, especially like when I want to come on here and talk to you guys about stuff. It is just like, yo, what do you think about Puffy paying Sting $5,000? It's like, yo, come on, man. We've been doing music this long. Like that, like that's what we really think that's happening. Like I know how old you guys are, bro. Like we're all in our 30s and older, you know? So we've been making music this long and we don't understand how sampling works yet still. We think that Sting has some secret agreement that he has to get paid $5,000 every day directly from Puffy's bank account, bro. No, that's not what's happening, bro. Do not let fucking blog sites that don't know anything about music production, that don't know anything about music law, that don't know anything about music culture manipulate your thinking and your reality, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because what actually happened is Sting, again, licensed his original content to somebody who sampled it. And because the song that the people who sampled it made is so popular, Sting's publishing company, or, you know, however he collects that money, makes $5,000 a day off it. That's what happened. Puffy ain't sending Sting shit. But it speaks to this guy's point, right? Because that's what he's saying. He's saying like, yo, if you make a hit that is so fucking big that you have to give back 100% of the song, guess what, bro? You just paid the cost to become a sample-based hit maker. You just paid the cost to do that. So now that you've paid the cost to do that, you have the social proof from having the hit. Now you can continue to sample and you could go and do more strategic things like, oh, okay, maybe ask around and be like, yo, whose catalog is a little bit more generous, you know, with the rights? Like who will actually approve this stuff? And, you know, go get into their stuff, dig their catalog and work on their music, right? This is my favorite part right here. This is where Cassette Fire tells everybody to grow the fuck up. It is extremely unlikely that you will make any money or get famous from your music these days if you sample anybody or not. Even if you find out that some dorks who aren't like talented at music figured out how to fucking sample dig so they can reverse engineer their favorite artist because they can't fucking find any raw samples on their own and make something hard, right? Regardless, nobody's gonna really get rich off. You might as well, like, if you're gonna do it, if you're gonna sit at the desk, if you're gonna buy the gear, if you're gonna learn the skills, you might as well have fun first.